So, you've chosen Orison as your initial starting location. Not a bad choice. You're currently spawned into your bed in your little habitation. If you press Y, you can stand up. Feel free to have a look around. There's no kicking out time. Few starting pointers. Your inventory will be quite a critical thing in this, and to access that you press I, and that'll bring up something like this. It's a drag and drop kind of situation. Nice and simple. This basically goes for everything. If you can make it highlight like that, you can move it around and manipulate it. Same with the attachments and stuff like that. So once you've fitted any armour you think you own, you can proceed out of the door. I don't know why, but they've added lighting and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then F is your next major key. That'll bring up the interaction. And choose your mouse to click. And there we go. Orison in all its glory. You got the Crusader showroom over there. You can purchase ships from there, and the little shuttles. I think there's an event coming up for that particular shuttle location. So now we want to be heading towards the shuttle bay and get you your ship. Again, F to interact, call your elevator in. The panels are scrollable, but we always want to be aiming for the lobby to exit the area. There we go, here's the lobby. So to get to the shuttle bay from the Orison habitation, if I remember correctly, it's just round here to the left. Definitely one of the more challenging areas to add with the volumetric clouds and everything. The signs and everything on the, well, in any location are accurate and very helpful. There's a shuttle bay over there and there's a shuttle bay this side. We're heading for the August Dload spaceport, and we are at the Cloudview Centre at the moment. So let's go and get the shuttle, if we can make it. Just in time. You can sit down just by interacting with the seats, or you can stand and just have a good nosy around. That's your habitation. There is a little platform on the top of that, the roof, that you can get the view with. A little cargo bar just floating around. This platform I think sits at an altitude of 75 kilometres from the surface, or whatever's deemed as the surface, and this has probably got the highest altitude exit to get into space. Well, I think it's like 150 kilometres you can actually start to jump, so it's a bit of a climb out. A small fast ship is always advantageous here. And here we are getting to the shuttle bay, well, the shuttle port. So this shuttle would then continue onto the Providence platform, which is the industrial place. That has got the Cousin Crow's ship modification shop and cargo centre. And then we want to be going to the spaceport itself.
A friendly reminder to check for your personal belongings before and...
If you feel you've got enough money, there is a ship rental terminal if you need it, and then you just call that in the same way as you call your own ship in. If, like me at the moment, you need sustenance, food and drinks, that's all for sale there, as well as the little plushies. And then we'll come to the ASOP terminals, or the ship screens, and call in the relevant ship.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
I'm going to go for
retrieval
something
system.
small,
Orison, the heart and
one of the
head
starter
of
ships.
Crusader Industries, where dreams
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle
I'll
has
tell you
been
your
delivered to the
location. You'll see
following
these little
location.
AR markers, these will line up to tell you where your ship is,
Please visit us again.
virtually. So hangar 7. Don't worry if you're greeted by this, just let the doors close and call it in again. It's a streaming thing, it will get better. So again, scrolling through the list, using the mouse wheel. And here we are. So the next step from here is will take us up to Port Orison, which is the orbital station for Crusader, and that will conclude this little tutorial. So when you're setting your ship, your basic flight functions, if you're greeted with the ship in an offline state, is just to press R. I will put a few shortcuts around for basic controls of the ship. If you have this VJoy thing, I would advise taking that off, because it makes the ship very enthusiastic in its handling. So a couple of options to go through for any beginner is coming down into flight and turning this proximity to no. It basically slows the thrusters down when you're near a floor, a wall, whatever. You will always want full control. The next one is in key bindings, and down to flight movement. And just this one here, cycle mouse mode, just find an empty button. You've got F3, any of the page ups or anything, or pause, break, they're all unbound, so you can just select that, just double click it, it'll wait for the input, and there we go. So save that. Oh, it will save automatically. Return back to game, so you've got that, and then you just turn it off. It'll just make things easier to control. To exit any garage or hangar that you're in, you just want to click on landing surfaces. And a few seconds later you should get acknowledgement.
You are clear to launch.
There we go. So F4 takes you to your external view. Spacebar, just tap it gently up. N to bring in the landing gear, and then just nudge it forward gently. And then basically we're just going straight up, quickest route straight out. C is cruise control. And there we go, there's a spaceport, that's the shape, you'll need to remember that should you ever come back here. Afterburner. You can see on the right the altimeter, the weapons, how much ammo they've got plus how much they can actually hold. You can control that by setting the capacitors to maximum. And then you got your fuel, hydrogen, which you use in the atmosphere, and quantanium, which will get you across the system. Your decoys, which which is H and J. And then over here, so you boost and throttle and everything. Your airspeed, velocity, and whether you're set to maximum or safe combat mode, like that. That'll give you the best manoeuvring. We just want to get out of atmosphere, so we're going for. We've got another 40 kilometers to go. Coupled and enhanced stick precision, you want to leave them active. Gears obviously up at the moment, and that is the ship. You can flip around, see whatever view you want to see. VTOL, not all ships have it. Some of it's passive, it's just always on. Some ships require a transformation. Compass at the top, or pitch ladder, and then you've got your heat and the distance in kilometres that you'll be picked up. Well, that's actually metres. So 9k for the cross section and 7.7k for the EM reading. Starting to breach out of the atmosphere now. Orison behind. So the next stage of this is setting a route to the orbital. It's just normally quicker to do that. It's usually somewhere above the landing zone. So this is the F2 menu. To look in an area of where you want to operate, just double click on the main location, bring up the moons, and the dash line is a proposed route. We want Orison. Very slowly scrolling, and then left mouse button lets you twist, right mouse button lets you move. So we want a little dotted line to Orison, and then we set route. Clear route is fairly obvious, and if you've got no route set and you want to know where you are, you can use that to pinpoint you. So now that that's set, you can back out of that. You can now see there's a little AR marker for the station we're going to. And we've breached the 150k, so we can freely jump now. If it's red, it's not ready to. You're not high enough to jump. So the next stage is pressing B for the jump drive. And once both bars are filled up, you're good to jump. So you hold B now. Hold faithful, and then press B to get rid of that. I think this was literally the first place where you could spawn anything in. This station gives armour, food, drink, clothing, weapons, and a few ship modules as well. So once you're close enough, press F11, you're looking for Port Orison landing services. And it should give you the nearest available pad.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There we go. So we want to put the landing gear down with N. Don't worry about the obstructing thing, it's just because I've flown over the other pad. So once you're over yours, just hold N and it will automatically land you. You can do it manually, it's not a problem, but this puts you right in the centre, and for a good reason, which is the next thing.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
So you've noticed that the fuel's gone down, so now we want to come into the vehicle maintenance services, and because we're nicely located on the pad, everything works as it should, and then just wait for the little red things to go off at the top. And that is pretty much that. We can now power down with you. Not the engine's offline. So thank you for being with Pandalorian Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this one. I am doing one for each of the landing zones. If you can drop me a like and subscribe, fantastic, but that's no big deal if not. And hope to see you again soon.